Hi everyone, I'm Zach.
And I'm Tahlia.
Welcome to the Inspired Guidance Podcast. We are two psychic mediums who have joined forces to talk about all things spiritual and to heal the collective one piece at a time. If you're new here, thanks for joining. And if you're returning, welcome back. We acknowledge that we're recording on Ghana country today, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about crystals.
Yeah, so this is going to be another one of our two-part episodes. This one is going to be sort of like the essentials crash course in what we've selected as we think the most sort of overall, like your go-to crystals that basically anyone delving into spirituality, whether you're experienced, beginner, whatever, these crystals that we cover today should be in your kit.
Yeah.
And part two, which is going to come out the following week, is going to be more of some practical uses. So how to wear your crystals, where on your body to wear them for the best benefit, how to use them in feng shui in your house, all kinds of those sort of uses.
Exactly, how to use your crystals for healing, hey? Let's jump straight into this episode though. Talia, did you want to go first on some of the crystals that you've
should we do like one and one and just let's do that.
Yeah. Let's take it in turns today for something different.
Okay. So for those of you on YouTube, we do have some the actual crystals on us, so we're going to show them as we talk about them. You might already know some of them, they are common, so if you prefer to just listen on Spotify, go for it. But if you want a visual, this is a bit of a visual episode. So my first crystal that I want to address is clear quartz, and this is like a nice big sort of clear quartz tower that I love. It's a bit hard, it's not going to get captured on camera, but it is totally translucent. So clear quartz is it's kind of like the overall, one of the sort of multitasker crystals. It literally does a little bit of everything, which is why it's definitely on the essentials list. So a lot of crystals will have, well, all of them do, have an association with like zodiac signs, planets, elements, chakras. So the clear quartz will relate to all of them. It's general. It can be used for everything.
Perfect for programming, right?
Yeah, it's actually like one of its sort of key properties is clearing like sound. So it's a really good one to keep on your stereo or your radio in the car, so next to like speakers, so that the audio is clear. Like the name sort of implies, clear quartz. It's also really great for if you are lacking clarity, having any confusion, feeling lost. So clear quartz is going to help you find the clarity that you're seeking. It's a highly divine energy associated with this crystal. So, it's a very spiritual stone. It's going to help with direct things like downloads, connecting to your intuition, clarity in dreams and things, if you wanted to keep it by your bedside. But yeah, it is quite a powerhouse. It's a bit of a, like I said, a stone of many uses. Clarity and clearing sort of electronic devices is one of, I guess, its most common uses. It's also really good at absorbing, storing, amplifying, balancing, focusing, and transmitting energy. And it does that via direct channel from spirit to the physical realm. So hence the divine aspect. But mainly, I guess if I had to summarize it, I'd say it's for like thoughts and sort of communication, clarity in those areas. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, guys, I'm going to start with my rose quartz. Good luck having a look at this.
Yeah.
Yes. We're both tackling the quartz now. You probably can't see this all too well. If you're one of my clients, you would know that I've got a real huge heart-sized rose quartz, a raw rose quartz. I love this because it's for unconditional love. It's about harmony and kindness. It's all about that self-love, self-empowerment, divine feminine energy, or divine energy to help reconnect you to your purpose. This rose quartz is the stone of universal and unconditional love. Basically, it restores trust and harmony in relationships and within yourself, and it encourages that unconditional love, that unconditional thinking. It purifies and opens the heart at all levels to promote love, self-love, friendships, deep inner healing, and feelings of peace. So the rose quartz is incredibly healing, especially if you're someone that's gone through a lot of loss in your life, a lot of grief, and you're trying to find yourself in the world again. Rose quartz is so important, and it, of course, aligns directly to your heart chakra. So it's all about that self-love. So sorry to cut you off, Tahlia.
I thought you were going to say something else, so that's all right. I was going to say rose quartz is great for when you need to give yourself some love. So it's a real nice sort of self gift of self-love.
Yeah, beautiful. So what do you have next for us, Tahlia?
Next, I have selenite, and I have a little sort of shard here. It comes in all sorts, selenite, but yeah, I like this one because I'm a bit of a texture person, so I like the raw ones and the the real shards. Selenite is similar in a lot of ways to clear quartz, in the sense that, like, you can even see the color is quite similar, so it does have those elements of clarity associated with it, and it is a little bit of a multitasker again because it's so good at cleansing and offering protection as well. This is actually associated with the heart chakra, believe it or not. Normally we think pink and green is the heart, but selenite is a real heart stone because it does actually have quite a loving energy attached to it that comes, you know, from the divine. So even though it's not specifically a love stone, it's very loving. I hope that's like making sense.
I think it does, and I think you're getting that it's like a divine love.
Yeah.
Like from the heavens, basically, or from like the universe, instead of like within ourselves.
Like the energy that comes from this is just so loving, is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. Yeah, and it is a great clearing one. So selenite is one of, I think, the very few, if not the only crystal that never ever needs cleansing. And it will cleanse all of your other crystals if you keep this with your collection. So it's pretty handy.
Definitely. I have a piece of black tourmaline and white selenite right by my front door, so it's perpetually cleansed and perpetually helping us with good energy coming in.
What else have I missed? It can help with, I mentioned the mental sort of clarity and decision making. It's also, I think this is to do with the loving energy that comes from it, but it's known to promote sort of truth and honesty. So kind of like authenticity. So it's a really nice one to keep in your home, especially if you're like entertaining.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's all I want to say on that.
Awesome.
Do you have anything to add?
I do, actually.
Yeah.
I love selenite, guys. My clients also know I've got a big selenite tower like this big. I use it to cleanse the aura. It also helps me see the reality and the truth behind the auric field, so I can support someone in a Reiki healing. So it's so incredibly powerful. Selenite, I love it so much. It helps me. I don't know where I'd be without it in my practice.
Yeah, it's a really good truth-seeking stone.
Definitely.
Yeah. So if you need just more insight or to get to the bottom of something, this is what you're gonna use.
Beautiful. Well, just pairing that up with
they're tourmaline. So similar, aren't they, in their raw form?
So guys, I'm going to be talking about black tourmaline now. I'm not sure if you can see this really good, but when it comes to black tourmaline, you might be able to see I'm actually wearing this in my necklace. I don't want to touch it because the microphone's right here. But black tourmaline is so important for protection and grounding. I only know this because I found this out recently, but the astrological sign, the zodiac sign in relation to tourmaline is Capricorn, which is what I am. It's probably why I'm so fond of it. Really powerful for protection against psychic attack, negative emotions, negative intentions of others. It's really grounding, balancing and clearing as well. I just mentioned about my black tourmaline with the white selenite in the front door to help dispel any negative energy that someone's bringing if they come into my home, especially with clients. They might be holding on to something that they're not aware of, so that doesn't get brought into the home. That gets repelled with the white selenite and the black tourmaline. I love black tourmaline because it's so incredibly powerful. It also helps to reduce electromagnetic frequencies, and it's associated with the root chakra for grounding. So if you're a spiritual practitioner, psychic medium, or quite just spiritual yourself, really you do need to get your hands on a piece of black tourmaline for that everyday protection. It's so important.
Yeah, definitely. Black tourmaline or black, one of the main sort of group of black crystals, because there's a bunch.
Yeah, sure is.
But yeah, it's definitely on the essentials list.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add to that, or?
I think you covered it. I would just add that black tourmaline, I mean this is general for all crystals, but this is a particular one that I want to mention because we see it often in this form, which is the raw sort of shard. It obviously does come in a tumblestone, like smoothed version as well, but if you do have the raw crystals, they cannot get wet because they're not heat treated and processed and smoothed out like the tumblestones. So when you have something like a raw cluster, a raw tourmaline, or even a selenite, you want to, they sort of take an extra bit of care.
Definitely. Because
they can shatter and they can splinter.
Yes, they definitely can. Yeah.
So they just need some protection in return. I suppose they're offering us so much protection, we just need to give them a little bit of protection in return.
I love that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Right, what's next? Oh, I've got citrine next. Sometimes it comes like this, which almost looks like clear quartz. It's such a pale shade of gold. Or I have a cluster of citrine here. So citrine is also known as like the money stone or the gold stone. It's quite associated with finance and with abundance. If it was like in the tarot, for anyone who reads tarot, oh sorry, I just covered my mic. Hope that didn't make a sound. The pentacles, the suit of pentacles in the tarot would be very closely related to citrine. Now it is, because of its color, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's a deep kind of orange or amber. So it is associated with the sacral and the solar chakras. So we're talking about things like...
so like middle chest. I
was going to say health, but
stomach?
I don't want to... Yeah.
So because I'm a Reiki healer, maybe that I might help.
Yeah, you can jump in anytime. Yeah. I'm
solar
just
plexus,
not finding the word that I was trying to find.
Oh, good. Solar plexus, all about confidence, all about empowering yourself and taking the next step. Your sacral chakra is all about that creativity, that emotional center. Really, if you have a blockage in your sacral chakra, it can be a lot of where repressed traumas and emotions are. So it helps to move them along as well.
Yeah, thank you. So yes, energy is a big one. If you're lacking things like abundance and creativity, it's going to help you find the energy to invest into those areas in your life, which also attracts more of that. So it's a really nice stone to have on the essentials list. It does help with intuition as well. So that's that creativity connection, sort of in the crown chakra. But yeah, wealth, sort of abundance, success are sort of the main uses that people have. A lot of people will keep a little citrine in like their purse or their wallet. It's just, maybe it's a little bit superstitious, but it's just like a nice little business thing. A nice gift, I suppose, if you know someone who's going into business too.
Cute. Oh my gosh, buying someone a new Mimco.
Yeah,
Chuck a little citrine in there.
Yeah.
Love that.
Instead of a gold coin, a gold citrine. And yes, we mentioned confidence, so that's a big one. Confidence, self-esteem, and motivation and sort of passion to invest in those creative endeavors.
For sure.
So yeah, it is also quite, it's got multiple uses as well, this little old citrine. I think it's quite nice. It's not as well known as I thought I'm starting to discover.
No, because I didn't really use citrine much, especially in my practice. I was like, citrine, tell me about it, because I've learned quite a lot about it in preparation for this podcast with Tahlia.
Yeah,
so.
But in my mind, this is like one of the most sort of, I thought, most common like crystals. So we're actually interested to know what you guys think. Are we missing a crystal that you think is on your essentials list?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, because this is our general
what we would
essentials list.
Yeah, what we would think the essentials are. But definitely get in contact with us, comment down below, or message us on the Inspired Guidance podcast on our Facebook group. If you want to us to do another episode on a whole collection of your favourite crystals, that would be really cool as well.
Yeah.
But as we journey on,
that's a poll that we could post at a later date and circle back to, because I like that idea.
Perfect. So I'm going to jump straight into my next one.
Let's do it.
So you guys will all know and love this crystal. It is the wonderful amethyst. So if we have a look at this gorgeous amethyst, it's not
the
really
camera's
focusing.
not focusing.
Sorry
we're just
guys.
Gonna have to Google
it. Either
it.
comes with a
it's on the
cluster?
rock base. Yeah.
Or it'll come in as a tumble stone as well. Really gorgeous, really cute. Amethyst is the typical crystal you would get if someone was wanting to help you along in your psychic journey. Typically, the amethyst is all about awakening your third eye chakra. That's what it's associated with mostly, but it also supports the relationship between your third eye and your crown chakra. Amethyst is basically for a spiritual awareness, spiritual awakenings.
Spiritual protection.
Yes, absolutely. Inner peace and healing, of course, crystals all are for that. If we talk about stress relief, communication, so it can help with the throat chakra, but it's predominantly the third eye and the crown. I love amethyst because it is what I use to help make sure my psychic connection with my clients remains strong, even when sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. So in practice, that's how I use it. I used to sleep with amethyst by my bedside table. Really want to encourage you guys not to do that. I found out the hard way. I was getting some pretty hectic dreams, and it's not a place that you need to be going when you're just at the very beginning of your spiritual awakening. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Time to put this on my bedside table. I'd have like a whole bunch of them. And I would wake up every hour on the hour throughout the night, like being like, oh my gosh, what was that dream?
Yeah.
Who's this? What's happening? I can't keep up. Oh my God. It was too much.
It's like a flood of spiritual downloads.
Yeah. So I just want to put that out there, guys. This is perfect for meditating, to get spiritual downloads, to get guidance and inner guidance from your guides and your angels and the ones looking after you. But it's also best kept away from the bedroom. Okay? Beautiful.
I would maybe, I've always thought of amethyst as a really perfect crystal for like babies' rooms and babies' cribs, as a little, if I was giving someone a gift for their baby's crib, I would get a little bag of like a black obsidian, a bit of amethyst, and a clear or a rose quartz.
I think that'd be really cute for a baby specifically, right?
Yeah.
Because they won't have that fear associated with the the downloads or the information that's coming through to them. Or even the
cognitive ability to process.
Yeah, for sure.
That. I just think, like, I mean, I'm bringing this up because I want to know your insight on it. But I just have this mentality that it's like the perfect little collection to add to a little gift bag for a baby, because I'm thinking of the spiritual protection that it offers, and because we know that kids are so connected already.
Yep. What I would recommend is a tumbled amethyst, not a cluster.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would recommend
tumbled.
the programming of spiritual protection.
Okay, cool.
In the
so that's what I do with it anyway. Yep.
Yeah, beautiful. Just because, say for instance, if we were to provide this as a gift, as a cluster, this is a very, very raw, really, really intense spiritual awakening and spiritual connection. you might find it might interfere with the infant's sleep.
I guess it's a bit more chaotic, isn't it? The raw clusters, because they're in their most wildest form.
Exactly.
Whereas a tumble stone like has been treated and contained and just been sort of,
and it's polished, isn't it?
Polished a little bit and contained a little bit.
So it really,
I'm sure there's a better descriptive word. It's just not coming to me right now.
But yeah, I think it really depends. I wouldn't be putting a huge amethyst cluster in a child's room by any stretch.
No, I normally do is like literally like this, a tiny little tumble stone in a little what are they called? Organza bags?
Yeah.
But just to hang on the crib. Yep. Okay, so that's okay, but we just need to make sure that we're putting the right intention with it and keeping it to a tiny little tumble stone just for...
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yep, and then that's the perfect gift otherwise. That's so perfect.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Nice.
What's your next one, Tahlia?
My next one, I think I've left sort of my favourite till last. I have a smoky quartz here, which I know we're talking about a lot of the quartz family, but they are seriously the essentials. Yeah. Smoky quartz, in my opinion, has got to be one of the most underrated stones out there. It is so incredibly powerful. Like, it's not even funny. So I don't know. I just feel like it's not really acknowledged very much, and it sort of flies quite under the radar, but it's a very powerful protective stone, smoky quartz. I keep this specific one in my sort of hallway and front door, having a lot of people come into the house. It is similar to the black crystals that you talked about in the sense that it is very earthy as well and grounding, and associated with the root chakra. So it's really nice for that. It does also have a bit of a cleansing, more of a purifying effect, which is that just dark colours in general in crystals usually are protection. So a good one for clearing negativity, protecting from negative energy, and calming anxiety. So kind of any chaotic energy or busyness, it's going to just ground and calm and center you. If you're going through, like, say, a lot of changes in your life, or just a really busy period, like maybe you're having to pick up extra hours or you've got extra responsibilities or something like that, a smoky quartz would be really good in just helping you keep your sort of peace and your level-headed while you're going through all of this sort of fluctuating from one sort of extreme to the other. Do you have anything to add on smoky quartz?
I really resonate with the energy of the smoky quartz, because like a clear quartz or rose quartz or another type of quartz, it's good for clarity and intention setting, and it's really great as an all-rounder. But I find smoky quartz to be incredibly powerful, especially for that protection.
Yeah, protection is definitely its number one power.
Sure. Like I would actually take smoky quartz with me for a sleepover, for instance, or if I'm going in to a house that I haven't met before, going to a house party, or like going to the club or whatever.
Or like a big social
smoky quartz all the
like
way.
festival, or where you just know you're going to be surrounded by a hell of a lot of energies, and that can be very chaotic for someone who's spiritually open.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're going to feel it all.
Yeah, and I find smoky quartz can help you make it easier for you to understand someone's clear intention as well. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, so as you can tell so far, a lot of the sort of benefits are going to double up and be the same across many crystals, but I still like to think that they all have their different ways of... Yeah, for sure.
They certainly all have different energies associated with them and ways that they help us with that. And of course, if you're looking for something like clarity, you can get all of those crystals that relate to clarity and amplify its effect.
Yeah, 100%. Right, lucky last, I have another black crystal. We spoke about black tourmaline before. Now guys, this is a pure shard of black obsidian here. black obsidian is known to be the most potent protection crystal there is, basically. It's for, again, the root chakra, so protection, grounding, cleansing, clearing. The energy with it is really, really intense. So if you're dealing with negative entities, negative energies, this will literally trap those energies and it will kind of remove it from the environment. So whereas and this is kind of the difference I want to talk about with black obsidian and tourmaline, because people think they're kind of the same, they do the same thing. Why do I need both of these? Right, well, let me tell you. So black tourmaline transmutes negative energy, which means it turns it into a positive frequency, or if it's too negative, it'll repel it, so it won't actually allow it to enter past its boundary, right? Black obsidian absorbs negative energy, and so that's all types of negative emotion, all types of psychic attack, all types of negative entities as well that it comes into contact with. So black obsidian is incredibly powerful, is incredibly what's that word where you soak things up?
Absorbent.
Yeah. Absorbent to negative energies, which means it needs to be cleared very regularly, like on a daily basis. Put it out into the moonlight or in the sunlight, whatever you do, just to clear it, because this baby over here will want to suck all of the negativity out of a room. I use it for my healings. I have a huge ball of this black obsidian, and I put it in between my clients' ankles, because if anything's weighing them down, if anything's preventing them to move forward, I'm going to get rid of that energy, and I'm going to clear it straight away. So black obsidian and black tourmaline, I use both of these. This one in my front door, this one as a practitioner healing people in the energy field. They are so important to use both because they have their own properties. They're healing. They're both for the root chakra. And do you know what? When I was doing some research, I had a little bit of an affirmation that came up with this one. And the affirmation was, I am cleansed of negativity and my heart is aligned and grounded to the earth. And I think that really summarizes the incredible, beautiful healing powers of black obsidian.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example of how two very similar stones with the same use have very different purposes. So yeah, it is important to sort of get a bit of information about your crystals and just make sure you've covered those sort of bases.
But we've spoken about all of the crystals today. We've got your rose quartz, tourmaline, a black obsidian, amethyst.
Yep, and I had smoky quartz, selenite, clear quartz, and citrine.
Beautiful.
It's a shame that the camera's not really working, because this black obsidian shard is actually so beautiful, and I get comments on it all the time.
The cameras won't do it justice.
It literally looks like glass. It's such a shiny... It's also called glass. Dragon. It's also like other names that it could be known by as dragon glass and volcanic glass.
Oh yes.
Because it's so reflective and just
Now, actually, I wanted to put this out to the team, but the team, our listeners, our audience, black obsidian, in its truest, rawest form, is actually created out of lava, right? So it's actually obsidian, right? It's the frozen, dried up, like shards of cracked lava that have dried up alongside volcanoes for years and years and years and years and years. It becomes petrified, it becomes calcified, and the energy that comes with it is so protective. And this literally looks like it was chipped off of the side of a volcano. I hope you guys can see this. There's like a little bit of dirt remnants in the inside.
There's like some grains of a real earthy red.
And look at how reflective this side is as well. That glass, that dragon glass, that shard of that beautiful healing property from that lava.
Yeah, and just on absorbent stones, so they do have a limit to what they can absorb, and once they've reached that capacity, you won't be getting the protective effects of that crystal anymore. So certain stones can be really powerful and really intense, like black obsidian, but they do require extra care. So yeah, it is a little bit of a lesson, isn't it? There is a lot of education required around crystal use. But yeah, I mean, if you keep a selenite with it, you can honestly just kind of tap your crystals. If anyone's really time poor out there with a selenite, you can make it so simple to suit your lifestyle if you want to. As long as you're just putting the intention to, this is going to cleanse my crystal, reset it for the day. That's all you need to do.
And today we've really only touched on the basics of really 8 of our essential crystals, guys. So there are workshops and courses that you can do. I don't personally run them for crystals and crystal healing and crystal practitioner workshops, but they are around.
Yeah, I mean, the information is not going to be hard for you to find. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
But we will get sort of another layer deeper on crystal uses and practical things, and a little bit of the I guess our biggest tips and things in part 2 of this series.
Absolutely. But for now, guys, we just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We drop episodes every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. If you've not already liked, shared and subscribed, please do. Follow us on Spotify and YouTube. We also have a Facebook group called the Inspired Guidance Podcast. If you're looking to follow us on social media, I am at Inspired Inner Healing.
And I'm Atlantean Healing and Guidance.
So thank you so much once again, guys, for tuning in. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, preferably through the Facebook page of the Inspired Guidance Podcast.
Yeah, in the group. That's where we want to have sort of the discussion content.
Absolutely. So we can get everyone talking about your thoughts. Tell us what is your favorite crystal and how you would use it, and maybe you can kind of teach us a thing or two as well.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a direct question to us. Like, we just want discussions to be had across our audience and our sort of community. So the group, you know, we are open to you guys just posting if you wanted to tell a story or just your opinion or something like that, just to get some information flowing through. And yeah.
Lovely, guys. Well, take care. We'll see you again next week, and can't wait for the part 2 of this Crystal Basics series. Thanks, guys.